Welcome again to another episode of Spirit and Truth. I'm Pastor Greg, and we're continuing our walk through the spiritual gifts found in 1 Corinthians 12 and Romans chapter 12. Today, we're discovering the spiritual gift of discernment. Discernment is to distinguish, to discern, to decide, or to judge. It is found in 1 Corinthians 12, verse 10, and it's the supernatural knowing whether the behavior, activity, or a teaching is from God, from Satan or is the enemy, or from a human spirit. And this is the ability supernaturally, not through just wisdom and not through judgment, but through the Holy Spirit to just know and clearly be able to distinguish the truth or error of a motive or an activity. To rightly discern if actions, works, attitudes, or teachings are coming from the camp of God or the camp of our enemy. Or maybe it's just something that came up from their own human soul. And so the gift of discernment is highly valuable because sometimes something might be said that's truthfully correct, but it came from the wrong spirit. And Jesus never let the evil spirits testify to who he was because we don't want our enemy to be the front man for what we're doing. Jesus never let demons testify that he was the Son of God come to earth. And similarly, even if something is factually true, sometimes we need to discern which spirit is this coming from? And is it a spirit that's going to harm the camp of believers? Is it a spirit that's trying to move us in deception? Or is it a spirit that's sent from God and it's the Holy Spirit activated inside somebody? And so many times the gift of discernment is absolutely needed. One time I just want to give a quick story. This is many years ago when I was working in an inner city homework center and gang abatement center. And one time a young lady who was ministering with me just looked at me and said, "Did you know that young man was lying to you?" And I said, "No." "How do you know that they were lying to you? Teach me this skill." And she said, No, I just know when people are lying to me. And I said, "Teach me how to do this." She said, "No, I just know." And realized after a year of spending time with her that she had a gift of discernment. She could tell when a lying spirit was on a teenage boy and he was just lying, even though he looked truthful, he sounded truthful, and he never, broke character in any kind of way. But she knew through the gift of discernment when he was lying. And this is super valuable. Also, sometimes the gift of discernment works through emotions, not just through knowing. So sometimes when somebody sits next to you, you'll just become agitated because their spirit is agitated. Or when somebody passes by, you'll feel joy because the joy of the Lord is over that person. And so many times emotions will be the key. Do your emotions swing up and down when you pass a location, when somebody comes near you? Do you just have various feelings that come and go rather quickly? You might be feeling the spiritual forces that are around you. It's probably the gift of discernment in action. So I pray that the Holy Spirit would increase your perception of the spiritual world around you for those of you who have the gift of discernment. And for all the rest of us, we should be asking the Lord, fill us up with discernment that we may know good from evil by constant testing. And Lord, fill us up with the gifts of your Spirit. Again, this is Pastor Greg from Spirit and Truth with a quick walkthrough the various spiritual gifts. And this has been the gift of discernment. Have a great day.